And I think, I joked yesterday, but I think this really is a new solar order you're seeing here. You have to embrace that these guys are likely going to be the bad guys, right? They're going to likely be looked at as they skipped steps. They circumvented the system.
They already are, so you may as well lean into it.
Oh, yeah. They looked at the second apron in the CBA and they gave it the middle finger.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's all technically right, and I'm fine embracing the role of bad guy if you have to do it, if it leads to where you want to get. Like, so many people are throwing their hands up, and I'm like, again, 3 years from now can handle 3 years from now. If you win a title, that's what you're here to achieve. And other people are like, well, I don't want one title. I want a dynasty.
Yeah, well, you got to get one before you can have a dynasty.
You can't have a dynasty unless you win that first one. And nothing's to say you couldn't win multiple if you get there, but you gotta get to the top of the mountain first. Yeah. And we've seen all sorts of iterations here in Phoenix, but we've never seen this approach to it.
Again, this is what I'm asking the people that are crapping all over the Bradley Beal trade is what other avenues did they have to really raise their ceiling? Like you can look at this and say, oh, the Suns are top heavy, depth is a concern. And that's fair. Those are valid concerns. But at the same time, like if this pushes you from, I think Sam Cooper said this on Twitter, if this pushes you from like 20% chance of winning the title to 25, well, guess what? You maximized your chance of winning a title. It doesn't mean you're going to win. And it doesn't even mean that if you fall short, that was the wrong way to do it or that it was a failure. Like winning a championship is hard. That's what it takes. And you have to be aggressive. And so I'm not going to act like I saw this coming. I was very adamant that I didn't see it happening and was completely wrong about that. But at the same time, like this just backs up what I said last week, that if you are a star player who's disgruntled with your situation, the Suns have to be on your list because of who Devin Booker is, because of who Kevin Durant is. And it drives me crazy that people try to twist it into, oh, this is the Nets 2.0, or, oh, we need to have a conversation about Kevin Durant and how he built his rosters. And, oh, the Suns are this super team that's trying to, cheat the system when the NBA is cracking down on this and that. And it's like, can you just enjoy some basketball and see the differences between the two? Like, if Bradley Beal calls up Devin Booker or Kevin Durant and wants to come play with them, are they supposed to tell them, no, thanks, our Twitter legacy is going to take a hit for this? Like, fuck all the way off. They are allowed to play with the best talent because they are the best talent. And that's what you attract when you are good talent. And this is nothing against Denver and their approach to team building, but the idea that the Suns are skipping steps with all this shit is so stupid because the players that they traded for Kevin Durant, who's an all-time great player, were homegrown talents that they helped cultivate. So we need to stop with this criticism of, oh, that's not the right way to build a roster. Oh, we don't skip steps and all this bullshit. Like, cool. The Nuggets won a championship. If the Suns win a championship, guess what the rest of the league is going to be doing? They're going to be praising them for taking this bold approach to saying, F the new CBA, forget the second luxury tax. We're going to try and win, and we're going to spend to get there. And why is that a bad quality for an owner to have? Well, get real.
Well, and we lived in a world where you had the owner that stuffed the cash in the mattress and didn't do jack. Then you get the freaking Oprah who's handing out stars to everybody. And you're like, whoa, we can't spend money like this.
Yes, we can.
Oh, there's a rule. There's a stop sign there. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Like, yeah, there's multiple ways to get to a championship. Will this get you a championship? We don't know. We'll find out in 11 months. We'll know.
Yeah.
And that's the reality of it. And I don't understand it. People point to the Nets. A global pandemic. A unconventional approach to vaccines and strip clubs took down that team. A guy that had an affinity for strip clubs.
Well, and they're not the same players.
No.
You're not taking those three players from Brooklyn and plopping them here in Phoenix and being like, let's repeat this. They're different people, different players. Like there might be similarities to an extent, but they are not the exact same.
Oh, and I hate to remind people of this, but when they were at full strength in that series, they beat up on the Bucks in games 1 and 2. They went to 7 games with the eventual champion with a Kyrie Irving who wasn't playing well at all, with a James Harden that was on one leg, and Kevin Durant almost carried him there. If his shoe was one size smaller, he hits that as a 3. They go to they go to the Eastern Conference Finals against freaking the Atlanta Hawks, and they likely face the Suns in the finals, all right? So you can play revisionist history. You can try to compare things that don't fully compare, but we're not going to know anything until we get there. And the Nuggets, the roster building and everything didn't work until this year. There were multiple failures at times. So we don't know that it can work again. We don't know anything that's going to happen in this next season. All we know is the Suns now have 3 of the best players on the roster.